Hi everybody. Today's limiting belief that I'll be debunking is the following. If you're going to do something, do it right or don't do it at all. Now at first glance, this belief may sound empowering, but upon close examination of the effects of this belief, I actually realize how disempowering it is. What it means is that if we don't do something perfectly, we shouldn't even bother doing it. So the effect of this is it paralyzes us from taking steps in the right direction because of the fear of failure. Now, let's consider this scenario. Let's say a person who desires to overcome their drug addiction books himself into a rehab center, and then after a while, they relapse. If this person had this disempowering mindset of, if I don't do it perfectly, don't do it at all, would that empower them and inspire them to get up and to try the process again? Definitely not. In fact, they will probably come to the conclusion of, you know what, what's the point? I'll probably relapse again. Now, G.K. Chesterton was a great thinker in the last century, and he said the following: anything that's worth doing is worth doing badly. Now, this may sound counterintuitive, but there's great wisdom and truth in that statement. He's not saying that we should set out to do something poorly. He's saying that if anything is worth doing, if it's worth doing, even if you do it badly or poorly, it's a better scenario compared to not doing it at all. So we ought to do the best that we can do with our current resources and our current abilities. And even if what we produce is not the highest standard, it is still a better situation than not doing it at all. Now let me use my life as an example. I used to be a procrastinator. I delayed the writing of my first book for many years because of these limiting beliefs and these limiting mindsets that I had. Until I came to a point where I realized that I have wisdom in me and knowledge in me that was worth being expressed in writing. But I was struggling to get started. And then my wife encouraged me. She told me, Nigel, just get started. You can always improve, but just get started. And then something began to click in me. I realized that I can always improve on something that I started, but I can't improve on something that I didn't start. And this pushed me and motivated me to start writing my first book. Now, if I compare the first draft of my legacy book to the final product, there's a massive difference. The final product was a great improvement to my first draft. Now, since I overcame these limiting mindsets, in the last 6 years, I've written 4 books. If you have a desire to do something that you believe is worth doing, but you've delayed doing it for many years because you are struggling to get started, I want to encourage you the way my wife encouraged me. Just get started. Don't worry about producing a perfect product or a perfect service. Just get started, because you can always improve on what you've started, but you cannot improve on what you didn't start. Now, if what I shared today was beneficial to you and helpful to you, and you would like to know how I overcame more limiting beliefs, you are welcome to purchase my legacy book. Everything you need in order to make that happen is found in the description.